never ceases to amaze me. It seems like no matter how hard I try, or how hard others try, society still remains cold-hearted for nothing. To everyone around me, I'm considered weird or strange, and I honestly don't know why. I understand that, yeah, I'm different, but not to an extent of being called weird to my face. Whether I wear skinny jeans and my hair is parted far, or high heels and hot pink, it's what's on the inside that matters. What people look like on the outside is only a fragment of what makes a person. In order to see how and what an individual is like, you need to get to know them for what's within. I'm the type of person who expresses myself through style. I love skinny jeans and Vans, gauges and crazy hair, band shirts and photography. I am different and I am me. If you have a problem, then take it elsewhere. There's nothing wrong with expression. You know, sometimes I wish we could all take the time to see through someone else's eyes. Someone who has something that they get made fun of for. I've talked to people who were sitting and crying because of how they are different. They told me of how people throw things at them, how people spread horrible rumors based off of bad events in their past. They told me of how their friends played cruel jokes on them and leave them to sit in shame and embarrassment. My heart breaks to see that these are reasons why people choose drugs, or suicide, or even alcohol. Nobody even seems as if it matters now. My whole life I've moved around. I've been to 9 schools, and I was always the new kid that didn't have anywhere to go. I had friends, but I always got ganged up on in a sense, and kicked out of whatever group of friends I was in. I was always the 3rd kid who watched the other 2 kids play. Even now I'm the girl who goes to hang out with my friends, only to be the one to take the pictures instead of being in them. My friends say they have dropped me because of always being busy. But in all honesty, that's no excuse. True friends work through small complications like that. I've learned that these people are not a reason to become weak, but a reason to become strong. I love my best friend Katie Floyd. And even though we've gotten into our arguments, there's been periods where we didn't talk at all, but everything still fell back into place. Sometimes all we need is that one friend, and sometimes all we have is that one friend. Next time, before you gossip or talk rudely to someone, think about the fact that maybe their life is not as good as what yours seems, or what theirs even seems like it should be. Be considerate. Think of what it would be like to be in their position. We all hurt inside sometimes.
Thing.
Should have had that flipped up.
Hmm?
I should have had that pulled up. It was down there.
It's alright, it's down here. This is all just kind of a thought that occurred to us both in the past couple of weeks, seeing like how some people are treated for being different, and it's just not right. We even had like a talk with our choir class here last week about it, just to kind of be helpful, and Maddie read that to them, and I read this to them that I'm about to read now. And it was something I found on the internet, and I thought it was really relevant. It says, "You see that boy rushing to do his homework in his homeroom? He was at his little sister's side all night during her asthma attack. You see that girl with makeup everywhere? She's insecure about how she looks and how boys see her. See that boy with the long hair and cuts on his arms? He doesn't cut himself because he's emo, but because he could have stopped his mom's death. See that girl with the shaved head? She's not crazy, her best friend has breast cancer. See him with the bruises on his face? He didn't lose a fight, his dad beat him for talking back. See her with the cheap clothes? Her parents got laid off and haven't had a job for a few months. See the boy over there biting his nails? He's nervous for a call that's going to tell him if he's a father or not. See her on the computer? She's not unsocial, she's just escaping the world where she's hurt day after day. See the boy who's always seen at parties drunk? His parents both died, no one has stepped in to watch him. See that girl who's always smiling and laughing? She goes home and falls asleep at night crying. See her best friend? She's addicted to drugs, but she can't tell you because you won't understand. See the girl over there always holding a phone at her side? She isn't addicted to texting, she's waiting to hear if they found her kidnapped little brother. don't judge unless you know the story.
I guess just mainly the whole point of this is to make you think before you do things. Words have a bigger effect on people than you would expect, and sometimes it's the little things that hurt the most. Like, I have numerous times that I can think of when people have said things to my face about me, or even behind my back, or done things that I found out about to make fun of me. And sometimes it made me think, like, why am I even at this place? Like, why do I have to be here? Why can't I be somewhere where it seems like people actually care? And I mean, I have my friends that do care and I know who they are, but then at the same time it makes you wonder, like, why do people act that way towards you? Like, you don't understand. And when you're the one who's being made fun of and you see other people getting made fun of, you know what they're going through, and it hits home with you. And then you see those people who are being the bully, I guess you could say, to other people, and you don't, it makes me wonder how they could be like that to somebody. Like, they need to take a step into someone else's shoes for a second and see what it would be like to be called weird, or if you're not the smallest person ever, like, get called names about that to your face. Or people that I've talked to say people throw things at them at lunch when they're just walking by. Like, those are the things that hurt more than something big happening. I mean, especially if it's happening to you. So I guess just be more cautious and be more aware of the way your actions can hurt someone else. I don't know.
And if you've been bullied, or like people mess with you, that's also not a reason to mess with someone else. I would think that if it had happened to you, you would feel even more like you wouldn't want that to happen to someone else. You wouldn't want them to go through what you went through. So that's not an excuse for it either. And honestly, you just need to think, we all do. Like, we all do this. This isn't like, you know, a call out to everyone but us or anything. Everybody does this sometimes. Like, may not intentionally bully, but everybody judges people. It's kind of a natural thing. You look at someone and you automatically make some sort of a judgment call on them. But the difference is understanding that you could be wrong and not voicing that opinion if it's something that could hurt someone. And because one of the things we talked about the other day with the choir class is that your words have a major impact on people. You either have the power to really build someone up, or you can completely tear them down. And you definitely don't want to tear them down. You don't want to be remembered as that person. Because, I mean, think about it this way. Do you want to be the person that they use as an example to their children later on when they have children and they're an adult, because they won't forget the bad things you said? Do you want to be the person that uses an example to their child of how their child should not act to people? That's one thing I always think about. Like if I say something, I'm like, long after I've forgotten it, that I ever even said it, you know, somebody else, the person I said it to, could be telling their children not to act like me. And that's like a major wake-up call for me. So that's one thing I always think about when I'm trying to think before I speak. And it's just something to consider.
Yeah. And another thing is, we all have friends, and so when we do one thing, it rubs off on the friends we're with, and it like causes you to be that influence on your friends to do the same thing as you. And so when you're sitting there bashing somebody or bullying them, you know, it like makes you wonder, it makes them wonder, oh, well, this is okay, so